Debilitated planets are not bad planet, guys. Debilitated planets are weak planets and they can only give bad results if they match a certain criteria in your horoscope, about which I'm going to talk. Okay. So, as soon as you see a debilitated planet in your horoscope, that's it. End of life, end of story. Nothing can be done. And this planet is going to give me bad results only. You become judgmental. All right. You go to the lane of depression and you think, what did I do? Because when a person has a debilitated planet, he doesn't like it. If somebody has a debilitated Mars and if you go and tell him that your Mars is debilitated, he'll become angry and he'll start defending that even though his Mars is debilitated, he's not feeling the debilitation effect only. All right. So there is a lot of exploitation and fear mongering happening in the world of astro, because showing this debilitated planet, people are giving you remedies, people are giving you yagya. Let's say Saturn has become debilitated and he's your Lagna Lord, and they're asking you to do Saturn Shanti Puja. So if you make your Lagna Lord itself Shant, you become Shant. Okay. Lot of misconceptions, lot of fear mongering, and they say that when people have the right knowledge and people don't come out and talk about it, then the bad sort of people start exploiting. Okay. When Mahabharata was about to happen and the exploitation of Draupadi was about to happen, where Yudhishthir had lost Draupadi in that game, and because of which the exploitation of Draupadi was happening, like Dushasan was pulling the hair of Draupadi and bringing her to the Raj Sabha. The knowledgeable people, the elderly people in that Sabha, they chose to remain quiet. And because of that, the ignorant people, they didn't know what they were doing out of ego, and it ended up ruining the entire Vansh. Okay. Similarly, when people have knowledge of astrology, it should be given out such that the exploitation should stop. People should not become superstitious, because astrology is like a pure science. Okay. So today I am going to talk about serious misconceptions about debilitated planet. Okay. There are seriously a lot of misconception about debilitated planet, guys. Debilitated planets are always not bad. So there are certain criteria. If your planets are matching these criteria, then only it is a bad debilitated planet. If it is not matching these criteria, your debilitated planet is a good planet. It's going to do good for you whenever the dasha antar dasha is coming. Okay. So be brave. Let's jump into this topic, and this is going to change your life. All right. See, the first point is that you have to understand that a debilitated planet is just a weak planet. Okay. So at the time of your birth, okay, you were absorbing the rays of the Navagrahas, right? Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, Ketu, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury. All right. So what happened is, the planet, when it was transiting through the debilitated Rashi, the debilitated sign, it was not powerful enough to inject its energy into your body. Okay. So basically, you couldn't, as a child, as a baby, absorb the energy of the debilitated planet, and because of that, you will always lack the energy of that planet, and you will face problems in its significance. For example, if your Jupiter became debilitated at the time of your birth, you will always feel that you are lacking divine support and luck. Whatever you try to do, there are obstacles. If your Mars is debilitated, you will always feel the lack of energy and courage. If your Sun is debilitated, you will always feel the lack of confidence. If your Moon is debilitated, you become over emotional. All right. And because of that over emotions, you will put yourself into depression and emotional anxiety. Okay. Mercury is debilitated, you will lack memory power. That is, you won't be able to remember whatever you are learning. Okay. If your Mercury is very weak, all right. If your Venus is debilitated, you will always want to have money and you will always want to have luxurious brand, because you will feel that I have a luxury crisis happening in my life and now I want that luxury somehow. All right. So these are like some basic traits of debilitated planets. If you have it, that is, if you have a debilitated planet in your horoscope, you will have this crisis going on in you. All right. Now, just because the planet was transiting through the debilitation sign and the planet was weak at the time of your birth, do you think that planet has become bad? It will only become bad when the planet is coming under the influence of some bad planet, right? Either at Rashi level or Nakshatra level or aspect level, all right? So without judging the entire book, how can you come to the conclusion that your planet, which is debilitated, is a bad planet? Okay. So what are the terms and conditions which has to match? And in that case, your debilitated planet becomes bad. And if it is not bad, then you're blessed. Okay. Because this debilitated planet itself will take you to the top. Okay. Because whenever you're lacking something, you will keep running behind it and fighting for it. And when you get it, you will know the value of it. Okay. Let's say your Mars is debilitated and you want to do bodybuilding, but you're not able to do it, and then you're trying and trying and trying, and then you become Mr. Universe in bodybuilding. All right. What does that mean? You have worked extra hard than most of the people who have got this exalted Mars. All right. And because of that, you have ended up going to the top. All right. So the first point is that a debilitated planet becomes malefic if it is, point number one, placed in the nakshatra of a malefic planet of your horoscope. Okay, that is, let's say that Mars is your Lagna Lord. Simple. Kal Purush, first house, ruled by Mars. Okay. Mars is debilitated in the fourth house in the sign of Cancer. Okay. Now, this Mars simply will not give you bad results unless and until either that Mars is sitting in the nakshatra of Saturn and Saturn is debilitated, or this Mars is being aspected by Saturn, all right, or this Mars is conjunct with Saturn or Rahu or Ketu, malefics. So, debilitated planet doesn't have his own energy to decide what to do, and because he is like a child, he doesn't know what to do with that energy. He will start following the bad people, the Mercury or the Ketu, which is making a connection with that Mars through conjunction in the nakshatra level through aspect. Okay. So the first point is that if the debilitated planet is placed in the nakshatra of a malefic planet, then the results can become bad. Okay. And there is a way to check the results. That is actually if this debilitated planet is giving you good results or bad results. I'll give you a method to check it. Okay. The second point is that you should see if this debilitated planet is conjunct with a malefic planet. Okay. So let's say Aries ascendant chart, Mars is debilitated and conjunct with the sixth lord Mercury in your fourth house. Mercury is sixth lord, enemy, obstacle, court cases, debts, diseases, right? Surgery, treatment, all these things. Okay. So because your Mercury has influenced Mars in the negative way, now it has become negatively aligned. It is like these terrorists, they brainwash the good people and then they make them into terrorists. It's something like that. Sixth lord conjunct with debilitated Lagna Lord, because Lagna Lord getting debilitated means this person doesn't know the right direction to choose in his life. He's aimless, he's confused already, and then negative person is coming and influencing this confused person, this debilitated planet. Okay. So the debilitated planet, if it is conjunct with malefic planet, and if it is a close conjunction, that is the conjunction is happening within the span of 10 degrees, then this debilitated planet will become bad and it will start giving you bad results. Okay. The next point is, if this debilitated planet is aspected by a malefic planet, that means let's say that you are a Leo ascendant and your Lagna Lord Sun is placed in Libra in the third house in its debilitation sign. All right. And from the ninth house, from Aries, okay, Saturn already debilitated is aspecting the Sun. Okay. So Saturn is injecting its negative qualities, right? Because Saturn is the sixth lord and the seventh lord, and sixth lord will give you diseases. Seventh lord is the mark. Already it is debilitated, already badly placed, and now it is making a connection with your Lagna Lord Sun. So it will give you arthritis, bone issues, dental problems, all right, fractures, all these things, low confidence level, low confidence while talking or speaking, stage performances, and all these things. So this will happen when already debilitated Sun, which is like already like helpless, doesn't know what to do, can't help himself now, and this malefic planet is influencing him. So negative influence is coming over the Sun. Then your debilitated planet can give you bad result. Okay, this is another scenario, right? The next is, if your debilitated planet is conjunct with the sixth lord or the eighth lord or the 12th lord of your horoscope. Okay, so let's say that you are a Taurus ascendant. Okay, your eighth lord is Jupiter, because Sagittarius sign will fall in the 8th house, okay, and your 12th lord, okay, is Mars, because Aries sign will fall in the 12th house, okay. So for a Taurus ascendant, 6th lord is Venus itself, 8th lord is Jupiter, and 12th lord is Mars, because Aries sign is falling in the 12th house, okay. Now if your Venus in your horoscope is debilitated, okay, where does Venus get debilitated? It gets debilitated in the sign of Virgo, okay. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your Lagna Lord Venus is debilitated in the 5th house in the sign of Virgo, and this Venus is conjunct with, let's say, the 8th Lord Jupiter, okay. Now debilitated Venus in Virgo and conjunct with 8th Lord Jupiter, which is a malefic ruling your 8th house. So whenever the debilitated planet is coming under the influence of 6th Lord or 8th Lord or 12th Lord, there you go. Again, the negative energy of the Dusthana house is getting injected into your debilitated planet, and because of which you will face problems, and this debilitated planet has become bad and it will give you malefic results, okay. So let's say that there is a Parivartan Yoga between your debilitated planet and a malefic planet, then your debilitated planet becomes malefic. Similarly, let's say that there is a nakshatra parivartan, that is, your debilitated planet is placed in the nakshatra of a malefic planet, and that malefic planet is placed in the nakshatra of your debilitated planet, okay. If this also happens, that is, there is a Rashi parivartan between the debilitated planet and a malefic planet, or if there is a nakshatra parivartan between the debilitated planet and the malefic planet, then also your debilitated planet becomes malefic or bad, and it will give you bad results, okay. Now you have to see if your debilitated planet is well placed in D9, D10, D27, D60 chart. That is, you have to see if the planet which is debilitated in your Lagna chart, it is well placed in the Navamsha, well placed in the Dashamsha, well placed in the Nakshatramsha, and well placed in the Shashtiamsha. Okay. If majority of the divisional charts that I am saying, D9, D10, D27, D60, the planet is well placed, then the malefic influence of the planet is becoming lesser, because these are higher harmonics or frequencies where you are zooming into your planet and seeing actually it is debilitated or not. Okay. So let's say that the debilitated planet is debilitated in the Navamsha also, double debilitation. It has become bad. Then you have to see if the debilitated planet is debilitated in the Dashamsha also. Okay, now this debilitation is affecting my career. Then you have to see whether the debilitated planet is placed in the debilitation in D27 also. Then you are becoming weak actually, because D27 is strengths and weaknesses that you are getting from the planet at the nakshatra level. So now you will definitely suffer from the karakatva or the signification of the planet. So if your Mars is debilitated in the D27 also, you will start facing property issues. Okay, property matters. So if your debilitated planet is retaining good positions on an average in these 4 divisional charts, D9, D10, D27 and D60, then it is getting balanced. But if the same debilitated planet is also getting debilitated in all these charts, then it has become very weak, very bad. And if the same debilitated planet is like 50-50, then it's like a cat on a wall. It will give you good results also at certain areas of your life during its dasha antardasha, and it will give you bad results also. Okay. The next point is that the debilitated planet, whether good or bad, will give you its maximum result at the age of its maturity. So whichever planet is getting debilitated in your horoscope, whenever that particular planet will reach its maturity age, and if this planet is a good debilitated planet, it will give you good results at the age of its maturity. And if this debilitated planet is a bad debilitated planet, then it will give you bad results at the age of its maturity. Okay. For example, let's say Saturn is getting matured at the age of 35. Okay. Saturn is debilitated in your horoscope. All right. Now, Saturn, if it's a good debilitated planet, when you will be reaching the age of 35, you will get whatever Saturn was blocking. So, if it was blocking home, property, comforts, money, finance, or it was giving you fears, so you will get rid of it at the age of 35. When the debilitated planet is attaining maturity. Okay, and similarly, if this Saturn is malefic debilitated planet, then at the age of 35, Saturn will cause damage in your life. It will create some irreversible events, some negative effects will happen, because of which you will have to face problems in life. Okay, I don't want to elaborate much in this because I don't want to create fear psychosis through astrology. Okay, the next part is that you have to always check, like a final destination, final report. Go to your previous Antardasha or Mahadasha or Pratyantardasha or Prandasha, Sukshma Dasha. Alright. And whenever you are running the Dasha Antardasha of that particular debilitated planet which you are taking into consideration as good or bad, if the time was good, your health was good, money was good, income was good, status was good, you were good in life, that means this debilitated planet is not giving you bad results. But if the same debilitated planet is giving you bad results during its previous dasha antardasha, that means this debilitated planet is giving you bad results, and it is not a good debilitated planet, it is a negative debilitated planet. All right, now there is another secret in this. All right, just because Mars has entered into Cancer, Mars cannot be mentioned as debilitated, unless, just because Saturn has entered into Aries, Saturn cannot be properly debilitated unless I'll tell you what. Just because Sun has entered into Libra, Sun cannot be considered badly debilitated or something unless. And similarly, just because Jupiter is in Capricorn, you cannot say that your Jupiter is debilitated unless. What is this unless? Okay. There is a mantra in astrology. Om Adityaya Somaya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Sanebhyascha Rahave Ketave Namaha. Okay. In that sequence, if you look at this listing that I have done, Om Adityaya Somaya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Sanebhyascha Rahave Ketave Namaha. Alright. Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu. Okay. In Vedic astrology, they have given deep exaltation and deep debilitation degrees of a planet. Okay. Deep exaltation means when a particular planet is placed in that particular degree where it has got the capacity to achieve its highest exaltation, that is called the deep exaltation point. And similarly, vice versa, whenever a particular planet is placed at a certain degree where it is deep debilitated, means weakest in the zodiac, if your planet is placed in that deep debilitation degree, then only your planet has to be considered as a debilitated planet. Otherwise, if your Mars is in Cancer Rashi, you should not address as my Mangal is in Neech Avastha. You should say that my Mangal is in Cancer and it is giving good results or bad results. Similarly, just because your Jupiter is in Capricorn and it is in, let's say, some degree, you cannot say that my Jupiter is debilitated unless and until this Jupiter is placed in its deep debilitation degree. Same with Sun, same with Moon, same with Mars, Mercury, Rahu, Ketu, Venus. Alright, this logic. So now the question is, what is this deep debilitation degree of each planet? There you are. Sun gets deep debilitated, that is, Sun becomes the weakest when it is in exactly 10 degrees of Libra sign. Alright. So if your Sun is actually placed in 10 degrees of Libra sign, then only your Sun is badly debilitated, weak. Otherwise, Sun is in Libra. That's it. Similarly, if your Moon is in 3 degrees of Scorpio, then only your Moon will face the deepest debilitation factor, overly emotional, psychological problems, confused, okay, trust problems, suspicion, all these things. When it is going to this deep debilitation point, 3 degrees of Scorpio, okay. So your Moon is debilitated when it is in 3 degrees of Scorpio. Your Moon is in Scorpio when it is not in 3 degrees and some other degree. So the closer the planet will get to the deep debilitation point, the weaker it will become. So if Mars is in 0 degree of Cancer, it is not weak as of yet. But if the same Mars is in 27 degrees of Cancer, and let's say 28 degree of Cancer is the deep debilitation point of Mars, that means your Mars has become weak. Okay. So for Sun 10 degrees of Libra, for Moon 3 degrees of Scorpio, for Mars 28 degrees of Cancer sign is its deep debilitation point. For Mercury, 15 degrees of Pisces is its deep debilitation point. So Mercury will actually be considered to be badly debilitated when it is in 15 degrees of Pisces. You'll get skin issues, nervous problems, and all these things more. Okay. Similarly, when Jupiter is in 5 degrees of Capricorn, then only it is deep debilitated. Okay. Because Jupiter is exalted in 5 degrees of Cancer. So whichever is the deep debilitation point, the opposite point in the zodiac is the deep exaltation point. So Sun gets deep exalted in 10 degrees of Aries and deep debilitated in 10 degrees of Libra. So the exact opposite is the deep exaltation point. Okay. So for Venus, deep debilitation degree is 27 degrees of Virgo, where Venus is the weakest and it is getting debilitated badly. Saturn's deep debilitation degree is 20 degrees of Aries, where Saturn becomes the weakest. Okay. And similarly, Rahu gets deep debilitated in the sign of Scorpio. So many confusion. Rahu gets debilitated in Scorpio, Rahu gets debilitated in Sagittarius. This is like a fundamental. Rahu is weak here in 20 degrees of Scorpio. But Rahu is actually debilitated when the dispositor of Rahu is debilitated. And the dispositor of Rahu is debilitated in aspect by Saturn. So the pace of Rahu has come down. Alright. Similarly, deep exaltation degree where Ketu is the weakest is 20 degree of Taurus in paper. But when the dispositor of Ketu is debilitated, then only Ketu behaves like a debilitated planet. If the dispositor is exalted, Ketu gives strong and good results. Alright. So when you see that your planet is placed in this deep debilitation degree, then consider your planet to be debilitated, badly debilitated. If it is close to the deep debilitation degree, let's say 3 degrees are left more to get to the deep debilitation point, or 5 degrees are left, then also it is going towards weakness. But if it is like 20 degrees apart or 25 degrees apart from the deep debilitation point, and just because it has done the mistake of entering the sign, it doesn't mean that your planet has become debilitated and end of show. Then you have to see all these criteria aforementioned, which I have told here in this video. If all these meet, then your planet will give negative results, and you have to check it in your dasha antardasha. If in the dasha antardasha planet is giving you good results, you are becoming a millionaire, good health, then your debilitated planet is working like a boon, better than an exalted planet. All right. The next point is that sometimes debilitation of 6th lord, 8th lord, and 12th lord becomes good if the planet attaining debilitation is also not ruling the sign of your lagna. So any planet can be debilitated in your horoscope. So let's say your 6th lord is debilitated, 8th lord is debilitated, 12th house lord is debilitated. So your enemies, your struggle, and your expenses are becoming weak. All right. So that's a good thing. But the planet which is ruling the 6th, 8th, and 12th should also not rule your lagna. And it also should not rule your 5th house or 9th house. These are like strong houses, trikonas, which support the horoscope for good health. All right. So if 6th, 8th, 12th lord getting debilitated alone, fine. If it is co-ruling the lagna also, or 5th also, 9th also, then not fine. Okay. This you have to remember. Okay. And what is the remedy for a debilitated planet? Okay. Now if I give the remedy, then this video becomes a ultimate video, because you have learned and listened all the problems. Where are the remedies? Okay. Remedy number 1, every day chant this mantra. Om Adityaya Somaya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Sanebhyasya Rahave Ketave Namaha. 108 times. If you pray to the Navagrahas, their malefic influence will be shielded at least 20% in your life. Om Adityaya Somaya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Sanebhyasya Rahave Ketave Namaha. Remedy number 1. Okay. Second thing, $1 million remedy. If your debilitated planet is a benefic debilitated planet, that is, the planet is giving you good results during its dasha antardasha, and it is not ruling your 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, then you can empower it with gemstones. But if your debilitated planet is a malefic debilitated planet, all right, it is giving you bad results during its dasha antardasha, then don't empower it with your gemstone. Empower it with Shanti mantra, or empower it with yantra, or empower it with puja, not gemstones. So if it is a good debilitated planet giving you good results during previous dasha antardasha, you can use gemstones. If it is not ruling 6, 8, 12 also, But if your debilitated planet is giving bad results in the previous Antardasha, then empower it, like pray to the debilitated planet now. Don't wear the gemstone because already is giving you bad results. Gemstones are just boosters. The moment you will wear the booster, it will increase its negativity in your life. All right. So this is what I have to share with you about debilitated planets. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll make this video in Hindi also, such that the people who are followers of Hindi language, they can also get benefit out of this. All right. So happy Navaratri. Wish you a happy Durga Puja. Take care of yourself. Take care of the elderly people and the stray animals, especially during festivals. Take extra care of the old people and stray animals. This is Purab signing off. Adios. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat. Vande Mataram.